And we're back. What's up, everybody? Benja Well Done coming at you live on this beautiful Corona-free day. It is Friday, May the 15th at 1:36 in the afternoon. How are you doing? Guys, gotta be honest with you, it's kind of tough. Not tough as in challenging, but just tricky. Tricky to give you updates about what's not going on. Tell you what I didn't do this week. I didn't drive anywhere fun. I didn't go to a club. I didn't go to a restaurant. Well, that's partially true. I'm getting an important phone call. I'll answer it in a moment. And with the magic of editing, I am back. That was my girl calling me real quick. As I was saying, I had just picked up some food, right? But yeah, it's just so weird. You know, I feel like as far as training and exercising goes, all I've been doing is, and I'm not being cocky, I'm just being honest, getting better and smarter and more strategic, absolutely better in every single way, except for, and that's all in the preparation process, and that carries over to the actual action process of everything that you do, because I've continued to work out, I've continued to do everything, okay? But in a similar way to comedy, as far as like material goes, I've been coming up with tons of material, but I haven't said it. Right now I'm in the rehearsal part of the process of comedy, and I'm going through saying this stuff over and over and over again. And oh, look at that! I'm perfectly fine, but my phone did drop. Everybody, don't be alarmed. It hasn't happened before. I went over some train tracks, and my phone went. So it's all good. But yeah, so comedy, it's kind of like a lot of theories until you test stuff out. But I did become a much more significantly better writer, which is, it's great. It's great. Here's a side note. I'm also going to be canceling my gym membership because now that I'm using kettlebells, I'm figuring out that you can do so much more explosive workouts. You can do farmer walks, which is basically just like taking the weight and walking it, like you hold the weight in each hand, right, and you just walk. It's going to give me much better grip strength. I can do kettlebell swings from it. There's so many unique movements that you can do with kettlebells that isn't really an option when you go to a gym, unless it's a gym that has kettlebells. So with that being mentioned, I'm definitely getting stronger. I'm just doing pull-ups, push-ups, and kettlebell workouts between the walks and snatches too, because I got like a barbell, but I'm only doing snatches on that. That's it. Even when it comes to like shoulder presses, and I'm not trying to bore you too much, but even when it comes to like the equivalent of like a dumbbell press with like a shoulder, I'm keeping the kettlebell, so I'm balancing it above. So the heavy part, the bell part, the lopsided part of it is actually above, and I'm balancing it, squeezing it as I'm pushing it up, working grip strength more. So it's awesome. I love it. Aside from that, yeah, everything has just been so mundane. You know, I had so much stuff that I was working on prior to this whole Corona thing, but I'm telling you right now, this has worked out in the best possible way, making me better in every possible way. Now, that sounds extremely arrogant and cocky, and I wouldn't even want to hear it, to be honest with you, but the truth is that is exactly what happened. I am healthier now, I'm a better writer, I'm better at everything, and now I'm just finally getting to the point of where I'm so close to being able to use all of my improvements, and that's what I'm more excited about. So everything is like a 2.0. It's like a better upgraded version of me. And again, it sounds so arrogant and cocky, but I'm honestly being honest, because you know, that's part of what this whole channel is about. It's about honesty, and of course my rise to comedy and everything, but it also gives an opportunity for everybody to, like I said before, to kind of get to know me behind the scenes and stuff, and hopefully someone that you would want to hear from. You'd want to see how I'm doing and what I'm doing, because I don't really truly believe that I'm the most interesting, crazy, outlandish guy ever, but I have a very unique perspective for a lot of stuff, and am very expressive in the way that I even express nothing. Like what's been going on lately. I'm talking 5-6 minutes now about what hasn't been going on at length. So yeah, but with that being mentioned, I really do believe, it's more than a belief, it's fact. I know it. This is given the opportunity to separate the potential haves from the potential have-nots, and I have used this opportunity to my greatest ability to become better and smarter and faster and everything else in every way, and I've accomplished that. Now things are starting to slowly open up in Texas, and I'm ready for the next step, which is to take this better version of me, okay? And again, even me, I don't really like hearing it because it sounds very like cocky, okay? But I'm ready to take this better version of me and apply the things that I have gained from this 2-month hiatus, external hiatus, because inside and everything I was able to, I still continue to progress. But I'm gonna come out of this thing better. I already have. I'm just not fully out of it situationally because everywhere is still kind of locked down and everything. But with that being mentioned, it looks like already this might be a short one as far as the discussion goes. You know, there's with so much non-activity, this really has been like the perfect experiment socially for people to become more of what they want to be, or more of what they are, or kind of just remain or change. And that's not too much different, but when you start to remove elements, you have to implement more creativity. And this goes for everything. So for example, if someone was in solitary confinement, they have to be a lot more creative to keep themselves active. I know it's a crazy example, but it's 100% accurate. Because in solitary confinement, you are literally completely by yourself. And that's it. All right? The lack of stimulus between what you're doing, physically, emotionally, all these other ways, is unhealthy. The only way to get out of that is to be creative. And I've filled myself with nothing but hard work, which I love and loved, and creative ways of being better, and have actually expanded myself to be more creative. And it's taken me to a whole other level. So I'm really thankful. I'm not being egotistical. I'm just being honest. And even the relationship with my wife and I has dramatically improved because we really got to focus more on ourselves, as opposed to being distracted with, like, not distracted, but like when you strip away all the fun things there is to do with someone, you're just left with another person. It can be like a prison sentence. But what would happen if you were in a prison sentence, hypothetically, with your best friend? And boy, she'll probably want to hear that. Okay? But that's what it's kind of been like. Okay? It's been kind of like a prison to a degree. Because, again, my humble opinion, there's only so much television you can really watch before you don't want to watch television anymore. So I've been filling myself with all sorts of other things, which I'm not even going to get into, to be better in every way, so that when this thing is completely over, I'm going to take all of those. You know, I say this thing periodically, and I'm going to say it again. I say hashtag levels. Levels is like a flagship, because it's one thing to progress forward, and there's another thing to be on a whole other level. Okay, like a different tier, so to speak, TIER tier, and kind of like a flagship. I know through this process, I'm on a whole other level and progressed forward. You know, so I'm moving up and forward, just like a ship with, you know, a flagship with many levels does. So I'm just hitting a whole nother level, and I'm further down the road, so to speak, with where I was before this. Now that doesn't always happen. It can be rare, it could be frequent, but it's not frequent enough, because it has to be a significant change. But I'm telling you right now, between my new material that I've came up with in comedy, and my athleticism, and all sorts of other ways, which I'm just going to stop early, just not to get into, to seem even less braggadocious than I'm already sounding now, I have significantly improved all of it. Now, with that being mentioned, the things that I interact with, the individuals that I interact with, in my personal social life and whatnot that I interact with, and with everyone else that I'm not even close with, that I interact with. Once another test is going to BC, I barely even talk correctly, which is going to be kind of interesting to see how this happens. Is when I get back to doing everything. You know how you cannot even try to be comparing yourself to somebody, and the comparison is so apparent and self-evident. You don't even have to try to notice. It's just out there. When I get back on stage, it'll be interesting to a degree. Again, not directly looking at it, but indirectly. How much better I've got compared to everyone else, which may have not been using these hours, days, minutes, let alone in other ways, not just comedy, to their advantage. So, but I don't focus on anyone else except for me. And as a matter of fact, things like Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff, again, in my humble opinion, if I actually notice myself, I only use Facebook for messaging and Instagram for keep myself relevant with social media. I do one post a day. That's the goal, at least. And I actually do two of the exact posts. I do one post with two of the exact posts, but one of them has all these hashtags like locally, and one of them has like local, national, and international. And I get completely different numbers as far as viewership goes for all my stuff. And at the bottom, it always has my little social media contact info. So whatever video it is, which is something that I usually do, and I do that for a purpose, and I'll just say it. If you put up a picture and everybody looks at it, you're not ever really going to have any information unless it's a video. So if it's a picture, I'll make it into a video with this little program I got, just so it has like a counter on it, and it's like a recorded still shot, or maybe you can add effects, graphics, maybe it moves, whatever, or it'll just be a video. Almost always it's a legit video of something in motion, and I do that because with that, even if they don't like it, it still shows how many views something got. So with that being mentioned, I use Facebook just for messaging and Instagram just for keep myself relevant with everyone that follows. I don't really like saying that follows, but whatever. Anyway, that follows me, right? Really. But aside from that, if I were to hypothetically actually notice myself on someone else's Instagram, or taking a moment to see what anyone else is doing, immediately I catch myself, I stop, and I focus, and I go back to what I'm doing. Because again, it comes down to focusing on yourself, because that's the only one that matters. And and I know it sounds arrogant, and it does, and kind of egotistical and everything. Not saying be selfish, but I'm in this for me. This meaning everything that I do for myself, I'm not going to use myself to be distracted with someone else, because I'm already focused on what I'm doing and my goals and everything that I'm working on. So basically saying that Instagram can be a potential huge distraction. There's actually I'm pretty sure there's like a timer on your phone. You can find out how much minutes, hours, seconds, whatever you're on an app. And mine is minimal, because if I had an hour to do something, it wouldn't be an hour to roam around on Instagram and look at other people. I'm not hating on that, but what I'm saying is I'm so focused, I only use it as a tool to keep myself relevant socially, and then after that, I'm off. So anyway, well, I'm at my house. I got the food. Everything is good to go, but I wish everybody a beautiful rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Check me out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, of course, and I'm always at Benja, Benja, well done, Welldone. Check me out. Y'all have a beautiful day. I'm out. Peace.